example. If you're looking at a restaurant,
Okay.
and we're trying to understand what items do we sell the most of,
Okay.
right? Okay, so now you say, all right, we have a database with transactions. So every
Yeah.
time someone comes in, swipes their card and pays cash. Cool. But then we also have a database of information around like how much it costs for the business to actually secure those items and produce whatever it is you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the profit margin on this particular item?
Okay.
So now you have to go back. So it's not, so you're constantly trying to answer the questions with what's available. But then if they say, you know, how much, should we raise price on a
Yeah.
particular sales item? Which is a question I received when I was working at Focus Brands.
Okay.
And the question is, are we going to increase price or not, right? So as an analyst, I can just look and say, okay, well, it looks like customers are buying a lot of products, raise the price.
Yeah.
Or you can say, let me identify additional information that will help me better answer the question. So what I did is I said, we have restaurants in every locale across the United States. Let's look at the zip code level and see what the household income is in those zip codes.
Okay.
Let's understand when we've increased price before, did we lose customers, right? These are all questions.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they definitely are, yeah.
So now it's like, do we have that information that can help inform these questions that me, the analyst, is asking? So now it says, okay, well, let's get some Experian data, which gives us household level information across the United States.
Yeah.
That's one data point. Now, based on what I mentioned before in terms of the tables where you have transaction level data, you have sales and et cetera, what you don't necessarily have is the history for when we change price. So now you have to go back to the data engineering piece to say, okay, can I identify in the data set where our price changed for a specific menu item at a specific restaurant? And when that happened, did we then lose customers, et cetera? So now this is where I always say it's a big puzzle.
No, it is. It just keeps, yeah.
you
keeps
see
going.
it.
Yeah.
That's what an analyst does. It's like once you identify a good question, now you have to chase down the data to help support.
Okay. So
question.
it just seems like you ask a question, you get the answer, and then that answer produces another question, and then it keeps going. And then, so is it possible that you might have started off with, how do I increase sales? How do I identify my profit margin for the company? Why is revenue decreasing in the first quarter of the year? And then as you're answering that question, you're left with more questions or other other analyses that you can present as well. Is that a common thing that happens?
Common, super common. That's exactly what happens.
Okay.
And then the data science piece where you're talking about algorithms, et cetera.
Yeah.
Or once you answer that question confidently, we're going to look at the data that you've engineered, the data sets that you brought together to make sense of. And once we trust that the results are sound, then we can build forecasting models, things of that nature to say, okay, now let's predict based on historical performance how well revenue will move, to your point, in the future.
Okay. So